Hello again, horror lovers. Today we'll be sharing with you the return of a very well-known ancient legend, especially in Spain. A long time had passed since we heard episodes of people bumping into this specter. And
Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I will be reacting to a video called "The Girl on the Curve is Back, Draw My Life's Horror Stories." So let's begin.
those who have experienced this terrifying adventure say that it always happens at night, in the middle of desolate roads, always at the outskirts of cities and towns. Nacho had been spending the night at the birthday party of one of his best friends. At first, he said that he would leave at 8 p.m. He was far away from the city and had an exam the next day.
Okay.
However, the party stretched out until 3 a.m., which is when he finally decided to head back home.
Oh, that's late at night.
Nacho drove carefully through the highway while drinking coffee. He was exhausted and couldn't allow himself to fall asleep. He turned on the radio, turned up the volume to the max, and put on his favorite playlist to try and make the trip a bit more bearable. But suddenly, he visualized something white at the horizon, right on the long and straight road in front of him. A bit puzzled, he thought that maybe it was just his imagination. He shouldn't be driving when he was exhausted. He continued driving, but slowed down the car until he could clearly see whatever that figure was. As he got closer, the figure of a woman dressed in white started to take shape. She was standing right in the middle of the road. Nacho stopped by her side and rolled down the window, thinking that maybe she had had an accident and needed help. With an expression of shame and shivering due to the cold, that beautiful young woman asked if he could take her to Madrid. Nacho nodded and told her to get in since he was heading to Madrid too. She opened the door, sat in the back seat, and Nacho continued driving. Nacho tried to make conversation with the young woman, but she remained silent and with her eyes fixated on the road. He would nervously look at her through the rearview mirror.
Among Us.
He just couldn't understand what was going on with that silent and unusual passenger. They eventually reached a part of the road right before a sharp curve. The woman spoke with a shivering voice, asking the driver to please be careful and slow down since that curve was dangerous. Nacho was puzzled since he wasn't seeing any curve on the road yet and wasn't driving very fast either. Until the sharp curve emerged from the fog and Nacho had no choice but to swerve at the last minute. Fully alert and focused on the road after such a scare, he asked his passenger if she was okay. And that's when a voice behind Nacho said, "This is the curve where I died." A shiver went down Nacho's entire body. He turned his head with a nervous smile, thinking what she said was just a scary joke. But that young woman he picked up a few meters before was no longer there. It's as if she had evaporated. Nacho slammed on the brakes and got off the car. He couldn't understand any of what was going on until he saw a few white flowers by the side of the road with a note that said, "Here lies Teresa Fidalgo." Nacho quickly got back into his car and continued driving, shivering, and constantly looking at his rearview mirror in case that ghost reappeared. He decided he had to go report this at a police station. He spoke with one of the officers to report what he had experienced, and the officer's response completely changed Nacho's expression. The officer said that he was the third person that night who had reported that same event. The officer then turned on his walkie-talkie and with a shivering voice, "The girl on the curve is back."
Well, that's all. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next video.